in the Luo and also in Kiswahili. We gather here at a time in which the world is increasingly interconnected through globalization, while at the same time we are witnessing the resurgence of nationalist aspirations. This resurgence of nationalist aspirations is being complemented by the emergence of multinationalism, which is nurtured by resilient communities. These multinational inspirations do not seek to undermine the national project in their host countries, but rather to harness the linguistic, cultural, and social fabric upon which most nation states were built. In Africa, we are more of state nations as opposed to nation states, given that the state in Africa, thanks to the Berlin Conference, saw states being engineered from above through artificially created boundaries. These consequences of these colonial boundaries were the fragmentation of cohesive lingual and cultural communities, which were dismembered, separated, and distributed among different states to satisfy colonial ambitions for socio-economic control and exploitation. Despite these divisions, pre-colonial African nations have demonstrated remarkable resilience, continuing to thrive across nationalities imposed upon them by colonial powers. It is within this context that the Luos from across Africa and the diaspora have gathered here in Siaya at the foot of Gotramogi, to the revered shrine of the Kenyan Luo, to reflect on the state of the Luo nation in the spirit of unity and diversity. Luo delegations, led by their respective cares, that's cultural leaders, have converged from Uganda, Tanzania, Ethiopia, South Sudan, Democratic Republic of Congo, and other nations. They are also joined by non-Luo participants who have come to celebrate alongside Luos, embracing unity and shared heritage that transcends the national borders. To say that multinationalism has come of age is therefore an understatement. This cultural festival embraces a multifaceted theme, fostering unity in diversity, not only among Luos across national borders, but also among diverse national groups unified by their shared African identity. Over these 3 days, we will celebrate our traditional cuisines, rediscover and adapt our traditional cultures to modernity, engage in traditional games, and enjoy art, music, and festivities cherished by our forefathers. We will deliberate on the state of the Luo nation and chart a way forward in a rapidly changing world. As our forefathers proclaimed, this gathering is guided by the enduring spirit of the Luo nation, captured in our rallying call, 1-1-1. Repeat, 1-1. Togin. 1. Gin. 1. Gin. Hello. Kawuono wane gi miluongo ni galamoro. Luongo nang'o? Iluongo nang'o? Nuo kendo. Nuo kendo. Nuo kendo. Ero kamano. Koro kawgini. Hello? Hello? Kuro one car. One migwena. One kanye. Tunitika milungu ni wichilu. Milungu nango. Tilungu ni gotramo. Milungu nango. Tilungu ni Siaya kababa. Milungu nango. To Gibondo. Gibondo. Kwa uono one migwena ka. Oburo se wachunu. This used to be a place where people used to compete on an annual basis, from time immemorial. I'm going to tell you so that our friends from Uganda will understand how the Luos of Kenya came about here. But here was a place where people used to compete. Now you have a division here called Bondo Division. It used to consist of Uyoma, Asembo, Imbo, and Sakwa. Where we are here is Sakwa. And people used to compete here. There used to be tug of war. There used to be wrestling. Amen. And then they used to play soccer. Girls used to play netball. They used to run Apudhinjiri, 100 yards, 220, 440, 1 mile, 5 miles, and 10 miles. But here now, people used to come, the teams would come from those 4 locations to run. Now, in one of those occasions, a girl came. She was not from this division. She came from what would be known as Boro Division in Alego and Ugenya, those sides. She came to visit her auntie, who was married here, somewhere around Bondo. And then there's Migwena Sports. So she came. And then the relative said that she was also an athlete. She used to compete in that other division. So she was allowed to compete with girls here in the sprints as a guest runner. And when they went 100 meters, she beat all those girls. Everybody was surprised. Then went 220. Then she beat them so far away that she caught the attention of one Jaramogi Odinga. Tonyako majaber manyo bunyiricha. En kanye. No, not worried. So they don't, oh, she's not from here. Her auntie was married. Then Jaramogi said, I want to see her. Then he was told that girl is so proud. She had rejected so many men that we don't think he will succeed. Then we approached and tried. Eventually, he was giving up. But he had his cousins who were experts in seducing girls. So he was told that, oh, eventually this one has accepted and cows were being sent. That's when he now realized that something was serious. So that story is in Not Yet Uhuru, written by Jaramogi himself. That is how Raila Odinga came about. Mama Mary Emma Odhiambo Odinga. This is Jaramogi met her here in Migwena. That's where Orango challenged you women car. You women car. You te untie. Tonyiribe untie. Nimegena untie. Unge kimamacho. Kadwa dipoloka. Now, as you have seen, you have people from the diaspora. They are the Acholi here, the Padola, the Alur, the Jonam, the Jurchol, the Shiluk, Anyuak, the Gambela. Now the Luos here in Kenya are a hybrid lot. The Luos here in Kenya are a hybrid. The first group that came here and landed at Gotramogi 800 years ago are called the Joke people. The Joke. The Joke people came from Acholi. There they're called the Pajok. They live in the border between Uganda and South Sudan, a place called Nimule. Some of them are in South Sudan, some of them in Uganda. The Pajok. That's the group that came together and were led by one Ramogi, and they came and settled in that hill where we are going to go, Ramogi. That's the first settlement of the Luo in Kenya, over 800 years ago. They went up there, and tomorrow visitors will be able to see the shrine. There's a place where they settled, their home, Dala. There's a house there, Ot. Then several houses of them, of wives there, are there. You have recreated them. There's also Duol of Ramogi. And then there is Cool, where they were keeping cattle. Then there's also Rapogi. Rapogi is a big rock where they used to sharpen their spears and arrows when they were going to war. Then there is also Pong, a grinding stone that they used to grind millet and other grains. And there is also Loch. This Loch was where they were hitching cows. It was put on the ground, but it grew up and became a big tree. It is there up to today. There's also Soko, where they used to get water, fresh water. It's there, that's Soko up to today. The Virgin Maria people go to baptize people there up to now. So all that is there is a big history of the Luo people. That's why we said we are making Ramogi Hill a shrine of the Luo. There's now a hut which is called Siaya. And the hut which is called Kisumo. And the hut is called Homabay. Another one is called Migori. Symbolic to the clans here, there. Now the Joke people, today in present day Luo, Joke, are, you need to know that when the population grew up, they started now to move out. Hey, hello? Hello? When the population grew, they started migrating. And they migrated, and this place here, Migwena, became the dispersal point. But the first to move out of the Gotramogi was Alego. Alego Mawuramogi. It's the one who moved from Gotramogi first and crossed the River Yala into present-day Alego. Now, today, in the present-day Alego, the descendants of Alego himself are three clans. The Jokanyinek, Seje, Alego Maduong, and Dengi. Those are the descendants of Alego. The rest are actually settlers. Then it took 250 years before the second group of migrants came. 250 years. When the second lot came, this one came from the Padola. The Padola, the Owiny brother of Padola, came with these people through the normal migration corridor, Samia, Bugwe, into Bunyala. And then after a while, they crossed the River Nzoia. they came and found the Alego people there. Already Seje, the son of Alego, the eldest son, was crowned as the chief. Seje was the king of the Alego clans there. But when they came, they said, we cannot be ruled by another king because Oweny had already been made a king in Manyala. So they deposed Seje, and Oweny took over. And Oweny now became the king and began to torture the Alego people, Lord Oweny. The Oweny clan today in Alego are the Kogelo, the Kaluo, the Karuoth, the Moor, there's other people around Siaya, Karapul. Then in Imbo, you have them, Jo Kadimo, Jokowil, Gumunyajira. And they are the ones who are also there in Asembo called Asembo Kanyigoro. And this also the Waundu in Sadoka. The Jok people are Asunda Lego, the others are Oyua Nyakaj, others are Owidi and Rombo Kisumo, Nyikal Seme, Rachuonyo, and Chuanya, Karunguka Dame, and Kaboch and Kanyamua in South Nyanza. Those are the Jok people. The third wave of migrants came from the Aluru, who are from the West Nile and Eastern DRC. They are called the Jokomolo. There they are called the Paimol. Here they are called Jokomolo. They came 100 years later and followed the same migration corridor. And then when they came over Nzoia, they found when Oweny was ruling those Alego people very ruthlessly. They teamed up with the Alego people and with deposed Oweny, and Seje became the leader again. The Molo people. Their first settlement is a Lego place called Boro. This Omolo group here, you find them in Ugenya, majority, Kager, Jokapuny, Jokateg, Boro, and so on. And in game, we call them Jokojuodi and Kwenda. On the other side, they are called Kochia, Jokanyada, and Jokagan, who are Jokakan in Alego this side. That is the Molo group. Okay? The fourth group, all this group also went to Gotramogi first. The fourth group and the last group are called the Wanga. Wanga came from the Padola also. And then they moved Wanga. If you go to Bunyala there's a hill called Wanga Hill, called Wanga. And from there, they moved and passed through Alego and went all the way to a place called Tiriki. They settled there for a while. There was Nyadundo, Wanga, and Owila. Nyadundo remained there. The people we call the Tiriki, if you ask them, their ancestors called Nyadundo. Wanga moved to Matungu, where he subdued the people he found there and became the king, Nabongo. The first and the only king that was found here, Wanga. And then they were there with Owila. Owila, when you told him something funny, he would laugh at you and say, Joyuma kabisa. That is where the word Oyoma came from. Then Wanga had a wife called Sakwa. And with that, Sakwa gave birth to a son called Matar. Now, Owila people moved from when there was pressure on land, population had grown. The Owila people moved back to Lowland and settled in Alego. Their settlement there is called Uyoma up to today, near a place called Kobare. That is their settlement. Then Matar, people came and followed them and found them there. They settled there. There, another person called Lay had come on his own from Asoliland and joined them there. This Lay, there in a Asoliland, they're called the Palais. The Palais came and joined. Lay had a girl who was grown up, Amolo Nyale, whom Awila married. And that is the origin of the Oyoma people, Jokamolo, Jokatwenga, Jokabudha, Jokobong. And that's why for a long time they did not used to marry with a simple Kalei. Jokabondo, Jokakia, Jokonyango, Jokoching, and so on. So that now gives you the meaning of the Luo, the diaspora, I mean the mixture. The last ones are the Suba. The Suba came from Buganda, the original settlers. They were called Abakunta, who came there, killed a king there called Kabaka Junju. And now the Kabaka's carriers were chasing them. They ran to the lake, they went first to Bosoga, then eventually they ended up in Fangano Island. And then they came ashore. They were mostly men looking for girls. The Luos told them, if you want to marry our girls, you must remove 6 lower teeth first. Wakasema ati kama nikitoa meno 6 peke yake napata bibi, toa mara moja. Wakatoa meno 6 wakapata wasichana. So, but you see, these people came from Buganda royal family, and you need to know that Buganda royal family was originally of Luo origin. The Kabakas were actually Luos. I'm saying this, Ugandans will confirm, even Museveni will confirm to you when he comes. This story I'm telling you. So although they were speaking Kibantu, but for a long time in Kibaka's court, they were Luo speaking. But then because they were living with so many Bantus, they lost their tongue. And they need there. Therefore, I'm saying that although they were coming here, they were not real strangers. The Suba group. And the Subas, of course, some came from Tanzania, some came from Ukerewe Island, and so on and so forth. So all that I'm trying to say in a short is that the Luo group here is a hybrid, a mixture of Acholi, the Padola, the Aluru, and the Baganda, which are here. This is Tanganyika, in short. But what I'm trying to emphasize here is that the Luo unity is why they have managed to survive and live up to today. Most of these places where they now settled were occupied by other people. And they pushed these people, and then they occupied the land around here, but very peacefully. This is very important. Now there are cultures of our people which are important for children to know and understand. This is what creates a nation. So he's saying that in this country we have got communities with different cultures. We say that diversity is our richness. Unity in diversity. So in celebrating this thing here, does not mean that we now want to discriminate against the Luhias. We have lived with the Luhias for a long time peacefully. They have, for example, the Maragoli cultural festival every year, which is fine. The Kisi, the Kuria, the Nandi, the Kipsigis, and so on. We live together peacefully. So what we're trying to do here is not exclusive. We're not trying to discriminate against any other community. We just want our people to understand our culture, and it's important. And also to participate also in business and also in other activities that make life bearable for communities. So I'm very happy today that we are here at Piny. Piny is here today. Piny is here, and we have got Ker Odungiranda, Udarangi. Chumbuno jogo nini kendo. Joey! 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 Africa consists of communities with diverse backgrounds. You have had movement in Africa for generations. They are here, we call the group that are called the Negroid race. You have the Bantus, you have the Nilotes, you have the Kushites, you have the Hamites, you have the Hottentots, and the Pygmies. But they have migrated and integrated. And here, they're blended. The original Luos who came were tall black people. If you look at colonial literature, the Nilotics, tall, pitch black, slender. Bantu, short, stout, brown, and thick lips and round noses. Now, you can see the intermarriage has brought the Luos a little bit down and brought the Lohias, for example, slightly higher up. So we are now a hybrid, and we're a hybrid. And this is the richness of our culture and our people. So we are here, and we are happy to be here. And this is a very great occasion today, as we celebrate Piny today. Piny today, 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, gin, tuan kanye, galamuru, one kanye, you throw more, you throw will. Ero kamano koro wachunuka, king jiditi ma amend, king team red donam, togi yedi king pim. Kaya it sport bro team reka, kaka ne team lechon. Ibro yuko na hunuka. Toruecha, akawuno anguthi ambo, jibro dicho just, ewa kumangidi yawe higa. Kujimangidi yawe higa. Mangidi mirenya kache. Umorgo. Ito tieng tarikario. To Gautramogi, kaito Siaya, kababa. Mtie study maduong ma Siaya. Ma governor Karasanga no chako gero, to rengu tiku. Moloso maber kabisa. Ku stadium no idi yao. Idi chako ni Jaramogi Stadium. So kanyo team ma Uganda, ma champion ma Uganda. Digo chogi gorko galo. To motelo. Wajumbe wagi digo mpira gi Piny Luo combine katen resa kose logi tae I don't know tiene protest akoni kose logi te kore ka kurwadi mpira malich ma Gor Mahia Gorko Galo, team Moloyo, team yo kikombe lungo ni Jaramogi Odinga Cup. Oye ko yuthurwa more. Kuro mi wacho ni Piny Luo Festival 2024 in Siaya is officially launched.